Columbia University graduate and student activist Mahmoud Khalil made international headlines last year, becoming an early example of the Trump administration's crackdown on pro-Palestinian speech. Following his release from immigration detention back in June, Khalil reunited with his wife and their newborn child in Manhattan. But last month, a federal appeals court reversed a lower court decision that released Khalil, who is a legal permanent resident. He's got a green card, but the ruling now means it opens the door, at least, to the possibility of a rearrest and even deportation. Mahmoud Khalil joins me now in studio to talk about his legal path forward and much more. Welcome back to the program. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me, Al.
I know this has been a harrowing experience all the way around. How's your family doing? How's your son?
We're doing as much as we could. The administration deprived us from the normalcy of having just a normal life, and it's always on my mind. Now it has been almost a year since this very horrifying chapter started in my life.
Are you and your wife able to just kind of do regular work? I mean,
no, not really. I would be lying if I say so. Now every morning I would take my son to the park, and now I can't because what I fear mostly that ICE would arbitrarily detain me leaving my son in the street. So we're really trying to limit as much as possible such incidents, because the administration knows and they acknowledge that they cannot rearrest me now as long as an appeal is ongoing. But does the administration care about the law now?
In fact, to bring my viewers up to date, you were originally arrested. You were held for more than 100 days. The Trump administration citing a law from the 1950s that purportedly gives the Secretary of State the power to order the removal of people whose presence is contrary to foreign policy somehow. Your defense, of course, is that you have a constitutional right to free speech and you can't be jailed for it. Has that question in particular ever made its way to court? Has that been settled?
No, not yet. So now what the court is discussing actually whether a federal court can look into my case or not. So no one is looking into the merits of my case. And now almost 1 year after my detention, the administration has not accused me of any crime. And they did not even present any evidence of any wrongdoing. Even if the things they say it's foreign policy threat, any of that, They did not present anything. It's all based on smears from tabloids and fake accounts online, which is scary to any individual here.
Sure.
What we're asking for is due diligence and due process. What we're asking for is due process and rule of law, which is the bare minimum that any human being could ask for.
I understand you're also suing the Trump administration. This is for money, though, right?
It's actually not. It's for money, but it's for accountability. And what we're suing for is either $20 million or an apology from the administration for its wrongdoing against me and against those in my position. Because what this administration is doing, they are literally defying the laws, going after anyone who they don't like, and they are not paying the price for that. So someone needs to pay the price for that, and this is just one avenue of accountability that I'm seeking. Because what I lost is tremendous. I lost my liberty. I lost the birth of my son. I lost my reputation by all these baseless smears from this administration.
Yeah. You missed your first Father's Day too. So you've got one coming up in June.
Yeah, I hope I will be here then. So we'll see.
We asked the Department of Homeland Security for a statement, and they gave us something that they basically had said a few weeks ago, saying that you should self-deport and leave the country before they take action to remove you. That, of course, sounds like a threat. Is that something you have considered?
My wife is American, my son is American. I live here. New York is my home. I studied here, and I plan to fight my case in court. So if they have anything to present, let's see them in court. That's why they're trying everything in their power to avoid going to court. That's what they are asking the judges is you're not supposed to look at this case. It's an executive case. We know what we're doing. So if they actually have a case, let's present it in court.
Right. One of the things that has happened since we last spoke is the upheaval in Minneapolis and elsewhere. What do you make of that? And do you see that as related to your case?
I mean, it's absolutely scary. You know, every day when I wake up, when I see on the TV, like when I saw Really Good and just like Alex Pretty like being killed, like that could have been me, and that could have been any one of us in this country. What they did is only, you know, upholding their basic right, which is to speak up against injustices or speak up for things they believe in. And this is, you know, my case was the first of going after those who the administration disagree with, and that was the blueprint. And this is what the administration did. The administration did not hide their intention. They said that this case will be the blueprint that we will go after every single person who we disagree with, whether they are citizens or not citizens. They're starting with the weak, the Palestinians, because they feel that, you know, there isn't much support within the political system here to support Palestinians. So they would go after it. Then they prove their point and they start going after everyone else. So it's really scary, and you know, like I'm very fearful that this would spread out across the country, which happened. You know, like it's Minneapolis, it's Portland, and LA.
Interestingly, what has happened is that support for the Palestinian cause for Palestinians has become politically more acceptable, and witnessed the election of Mayor Zohran Mamdani. I'm wondering if you've spoken to him about your case and if he's going to be able to speak up for you.
Yeah, no, I absolutely support and value the support of Mayor Mamdani. In my case, he has been very outspoken since the beginning, since even before, you know, becoming that front runner in the election, and I absolutely value his support. I also value the support of Representative Jerry Nadler, who has also been outspoken. And they would take this opportunity to call on the leadership of the Democratic Party, on Schumer and Jeffrey, to do more. To defend the rights of New Yorkers, the rights of Americans to free speech, to due process. And you know, our team and the mayor's team are in contact, and they believe that you know, Mayor Mamdani will be there should they need any support.
Okay, and I guess finally, as an activist, you know, you want to make an impact. I guess you could never have anticipated that this would be it, but are you satisfied that you've moved forward with advancing the cause that brought you into this in the first place?
I mean, the cost that, you know, like I lost the birth of my child. I lost my liberty for something that I shouldn't have been jailed for. I came to this country under the promise that this country is the land of the free, that they would respect First Amendment freedom of speech, and to find myself in a position where I am being targeted, I'm being criminalized for speaking out. It's something I never envisioned. Now I find myself here, you know, I can't do much about it, but I take it with pride, and I would take this responsibility to advance and advocate for the rights of my people, for human rights, for everyone, with absolute pride.
Okay, we'll leave it there for now. We'll wish you the best of luck. Stay in touch.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot for coming through.